They did it again, YouTube. It's System Blue time, baby. Yeah, so this video is, again, sponsored by Evans. Just like the last drumhead episode. I'm super excited for this one, too. They sent me 2 drum heads. One of them is a bottom snare side head, and the other one is a top head. They're both System Blue, so this is what the Blue Devils use. They also sent me 2 pairs of sticks, the System Blue DC50s and the System Blue DC51s. So I'm going to be playing with both of those as well. So yeah, let's get these heads changed up. Alright, well the top head is done, so now we got to do the bottom head. It's going to take a little bit longer because a bottom head has to settle for a little bit longer. A top head is made of Kevlar, so you can really crank it and it's going to be fine. It shouldn't pop or anything. A bottom head, on the other hand, is a little bit more fragile. I'm going to take it up pretty slowly. I just don't want it to pop. So yeah, I'll see you guys eventually. I just got to say, look how cool this bottom head is. Never seen anything like it. I love it. I'm excited to see what it sounds like. Alright, I got the bottom head all tuned up. Keep in mind, if you ever order this bottom head, it's designed for a medium to low tension, so I would err on the side of caution. Definitely don't crank this one. It might pop, opposed to the MX5, which is definitely designed for a higher tension, but still not crazy high. This one that I have on right now, just make sure that you keep it at somewhat of a low tension so that it doesn't damage the drum head or the drum. Alright, I got this bottom head all tuned up. Let me show you what it looks like real quick. So pretty cool, clear, you can see through it. It's designed with like a weaved fiber, so it's really cool. So whereas the MX5 is a little bit darker of a tone and a shorter sustain, this one's going to be a little bit longer and brighter. So a little bit longer sustain, a little brighter tone. It's pretty much in the middle between like bright and dark tone. It's going to be right in the middle. In terms of like sustain or resonance, it's going to be like right in between the two. It's going to be definitely a lower pitch because this head is designed for low to medium tension. So if you get this head, definitely do not crank it up. You don't want it to be too tight. It is still meant for marching. It's just meant for if you're going for a lower tone, then this is definitely for you. So let's try this out with the combination of the System Blue top head and the low tension bottom head. So my initial thoughts on it, it's definitely different, and it's cool because I feel like nowadays most snares kind of just sound somewhat the same. So this is definitely a different sound, and I'm really liking it. It's a little thunkier, if that makes sense. Like it's definitely like a lower tone, not as high pitched, obviously, because it's not as high tension. Who knew that the bottom head could change the pitch of a drum that much? I've never played with a low tension bottom head. I've always had the MX5 I've used on every snare that I've ever played on. So it's cool to have a little change of pace here. The only thing that I'm noticing is at the low end, or like fast like rolls at the piano volume, I think they read a little bit better with the MX5. But again, like this like thunky tone that I'm getting out of this, I'm really enjoying. In terms of the top head, I haven't talked about that a whole lot. The top head is very soft. If you remember in the last episode, I talked about how the hybrid black was more on the softer side of things, and the hybrid white was more articulate in terms of how it feels to play on. This is definitely a lot softer of a head. It has a lot of give, and I cranked it up a lot. It's almost at max tension, and it's still nice and soft. It feels great to play on. This is an incredible head, whether it's a solo standpoint or in a line setting. In addition, the top head is also kind of a lower tone than some of your other snare heads. So if you're going for somewhat of a low-tuned drum, I would check out this combination of the two, because you get a nice warm sound out of the System Blue top head, and then you get a nice low tone out of the bottom head. So as you guys heard when I played on it, it sounds nice and low, which is really cool, because a lot of the times when marching snares are tuned really low, they just sound gross and wet. But this is tuned to the max tension that these heads will allow, and it sounds like the tone is still low, but it doesn't sound like a crappy like middle school cheap Mylar snare, you know what I mean? Like, it still sounds like a marching snare, but it sounds like you just like went into your editing software and like turned down the pitch a little bit. It's cool to have this different sound, because it's not something that I really have ever heard from a marching snare before. Let's play a lick on it and see if it sounds good like in the line setting. I'm gonna play some Blue Coats 2024 with my headphones on, and we'll put the Blue Coats video over top of it so you can hear what it sounds like playing with a drumline. So let's talk a little bit about the sticks now. So I'm going to do the DC50s now. These sticks are pretty wide. They're pretty tree trunky. It's like playing with logs, but they're really, really good for maximum control. They have a nice like round fat bead. That's going to be good for not only the rebound that you get, and also maximum like contact from bead to drum. So it's going to provide a nice full sound. And they're nice and resonant too. It has a fairly short taper, so it's definitely going to be front heavy, which is what I love. So back to like that weight thing, you're gonna be able to control the stick very, very easily. These are some of my favorite current sticks that I pad with like every night. So these are definitely for chop building / control of what you're playing. So now on to the DC51s, another System Blue drumstick. These are thinner in diameter, so you'll have more contact to the stick. It has like a unique, like triangular bead. It's not going to provide as full of a sound. It'll be a little bit thinner just because there's less contact from bead to head. It's also a long taper, so it's going to be a little less hard to control, but it's going to be easy to play things faster. So this is a lighter stick. You'll have more endurance when using this stick. You'll be able to play harder things for longer. As the other ones were for control and full sound, might chop out a little quicker with those. Or these ones you'll be able to play pretty fast for quite a while. So let's play some stuff with this. Alright, so there's the DC51s. Not too bad. I like my personal favorite are the DC50s out of the two. But if you're going for playing for a long time, if you're going for a more delicate approach, whether that's like concert playing or just softer level marching, go with the DC51s. If you're trying to build chops and play with more control and provide a insanely full sound, then go with the DC50s. Now finally onto these nylon rods. These are not System Blue, but they're hybrid 2Bs. So they're going to be more for, drum set playing or concert playing. but they are applicable to the marching side of things as well. So you can use them as a different timbral change for marching things. It's just more common in the concert or drum set world. But let's hear what they sound like on a marching snare. And now I'll raise these little rubber bands to make them a little less brushy and more articulate. It's actually crazy how much rebound I get out of those. Whenever I hopefully in my future compose music for marching bands or drum corps, I'm going to have to keep those in mind because those provide some pretty cool sounds, and they're not as hard to play with as you think. So those are sweet. Well, that's pretty much it for this episode. Evans, you guys are the best for sending me so many cool things to try out. I'm loving all this experimenting that's going on. Thank you to my viewers again. Like I always like to say, you guys are what makes this happen. I wouldn't be here without y'all. Quick little note, I'm offering private lessons, so hit me up. I'd be happy to offer you some lessons and help to raising funds for my upcoming summer with the Bluecoats. So hit me up if you want some lessons, or I also offer video feedback for just $5. Just send me one video, and I'm happy to review it and give you some feedback just for $5. I hope you liked this episode. Send it to your friends if they're having trouble deciding on what heads to buy. But yeah, peace out, y'all.